Coming up to 20 to 12, RTHK Radio 3. James Ross in for Phil Whelan for one day only on The Morning Brew. And thanks again to Liz Shackleton at the newsletter Stream Live for telling us all about the content industry before the news. We're going to talk now to singer-songwriter John Lowden, who's been here in Hong Kong for many years and has got a kind of viral hit on his hands with This Is My Home, Hong Kong, This Is My Home. John's on the line live from his studio now. John, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, nice to have you on. And, tell us a little bit, first of all, just about yourself, because you've been in Hong Kong a long time, right? Since 1985, I think.
Yeah, I came in 1985 and I joined a band, City Beat. We were doing kind of like volunteer work in the 80s. And then I got into the music business through that. Started writing songs for local singers, Hong Kong Canto-pop stuff, and just continued on and on and on, and still busy in the music business.
Well, in a few moments, let's drill down a bit more into some of those experiences that you've had, and you've had many musical experiences in Hong Kong over the years. But let's play this song, which, is doing the rounds at the moment, and got a lot of people's interest. Yeah. It's called...
kind of researched.
Yes, I know. Yes, because you wrote it a couple of years back, didn't you? And it seems to have come up again. It's called This Is My Home. And I guess this is establishing that it is your home and has been since 1985, right?
Yes, it's just, I thought I wanted to express just that, I love this place and everything about it. That was 2 years ago. There's a lot of things going on back then. So I thought I need to write something to just boost my own feelings as well as that of people who enjoyed the song.
Well, I think it's still valid today. I mean, given all that we've gone through in the last couple of years.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Tell me about it.
So let's have a listen to Hong Kong. This Is My Home from John Lowden.
People mountain, people sea, soaring towers and crowded streets, from the harbor to the mountain peaks. This is a city truly unique. I have lived here since 85, through the sunshine and through hard times. But it holds me like a love that's torn, that will stand strong through every storm. I've climbed the mountains, I've walked these streets, this town, this village that never sleeps. So many faces, both young and old. This fragrant harbor, this is my home. Yeah. This is a city that's a sea of light, and it still shines on through the darkest night, just like a candle, an eternal flame. I know this city has called my name. I've climbed the mountains and walked these streets, this town, this village that never sleeps. So many faces, both young and old. This the good times and through the pain, through the sunshine and through the rain. This is the home where we belong, and I have faith we will stand strong. Yes, I have faith, oh yeah, in my Hong Kong.
Great lyric to end there. In my Hong Kong. John Lowden, singer-songwriter, is with us. I guess that sums up the song, really. In my Hong Kong for you, John.
Yes, it was kind of interesting because when I didn't like the word Hong Kong isn't one of the most musical sounding words. So I didn't want to put it in everywhere in the song. Because I've heard songs with Hong Kong and it's kind of but I thought I need to put it in somewhere. And so I put it in at the very last and sang it in a way that hopefully sounded musical.
Yeah, I mean, a very nice piece, nicely written, great lyrics, great music. I mean, how did you get to a point where you wanted to write that kind of song?
Well, around 2 years ago, there was a lot going on in Hong Kong, all kinds of stuff. And, before COVID showed up. And, but I thought, I need to reiterate that, I've been here at that point, like we've been 36 years. And, just wanted to express how I felt about the place. Cause here, I mean, everything you can do here, like, there's lots of people, there's so much vibrancy, there's so much life. And, yet there's mountains where you can go hike, and be in the middle of nowhere and have the most incredible views. You can go off to a beach if you want right away. You can go off to some great bars, in Seoul or anywhere. And in 10 minutes, I mean, I live in Kwai Hing basically, but I can be in Central in 20 some minutes. So everything about it was just a place I thought I need to express how I feel about the place. It's been my home, this is where my kids are growing up and, so it just needed to get it out there. And that was at the time where there was I think there was some Chinese songs coming out as well, basically supporting Hong Kong and just saying, hey, we're going to make it. But there wasn't anything in English, at the time.
And in the lyrics, and as we mentioned before the song, and in the lyrics, it says, you came here in 1985. And I mean, what is your story? How did you end up in Hong Kong? You're originally from Canada.
That's right. Yeah. I was doing kind of like volunteer mission work, for a Christian organization. And then, we ended up, I thought I want to come somewhere for 6 months. I was in the middle of an electrical apprenticeship in, Canada, in Vancouver. And I thought I'll just do 6 months of volunteer work and then go back. And I never went back. And, in that 6 months though, I met these other three guys and we put together the band City Beat. We just started doing that as far as our volunteer work. We played a lot of schools and prisons, just to give a good message. Our bass player had been an ex-heroin addict, so we wanted to say no to drugs, that kind of thing. And that's how it started rolling. Yeah.
But you immediately sort of put your feet in real locally, didn't you? Because you were singing those songs, of course, in Cantonese.
Well, funny enough, the first year or two, we didn't sing, at all. We were more of an instrumental band. We played it was kind of jazz pop stuff. And, but then we'd play and then we'd want to tell people stuff. And we realized, well, we definitely need to do something in Cantonese. We started singing some songs and we were playing at Star Ferry up by where the Five Flags are in Tsim Sha Tsui side. We would be singing there every Saturday night, basically before busking ever showed up in Hong Kong. We would do like a 2-hour thing. We'd bring our whole sound system there. And, we thought, people would stop and listen when we talked. But when we started playing, they'd all walk away. So it wasn't about our music as much as they just wanted to hear our story. What are these crazy white guys doing, playing on the street here in 1985, which is, a very strange, way back. It was kind of new. And we were in Tsim Sha Tsui East by the old fountain there. We do that every Friday night. So we thought we need to start singing Cantonese. And since I was the lead singer, I was the one who had to learn the songs. And we started with Alan Tam's Peng Yao, which is friend. It was a tongue twister for me, but but right away, there's a huge difference in the way people would stop and listen. So we thought, this is the way we have to go. That's how it happened.
But you've gone on, to do many aspects of music in Hong Kong, haven't you? And you've in fact driven a lot of Canto-pop artists. You've created songs, written songs, produced songs, mixed songs, everything. Tell us about some of the biggest experiences that you've had in that area.
The first thing, like back then, I was like a young guy in his 20s, and I was broke, as all musicians were back then. We got discovered as a band by a guy, who took our music to Polygram, this record company back in the day before Universal. And most people, at first they laughed when they heard our stuff because, they thought, oh, no, white guys can't sing Cantonese. And then he decided to take the guy that discovered us, Armando is his name. He basically opened a record company so he could record our stuff. So we recorded it. Then we brought it to Polygram. They signed us. And through that, I was asked to write songs for some of the artists. And that was the biggest company at the time, Alan Tam and Shirley Kwan and Hacken Lee, all these famous artists, Jackie Chung. They were all in this company. And so I started, and my first song I wrote was a song I had written for my sister's wedding in 1986.
Right.
And called Love of the Only Kind. Well, then he did it in English for a Singapore album. Alan Tam did. And then he said, I like the song so much, I'll do it in Cantonese. And that became a huge hit in 1989. And so from then on, we had released our own album in 1988, and that did quite well. But yeah, I just started on the songwriting, mainly songwriting and then arranging songs for artists throughout the 90s, back in the heyday when albums would sell hundreds of thousands, so that managed to get me out of my poverty a little bit. Of course, musicians come and go.
Sure.
That stuff, and so I just kept writing and just built up a repertoire of songs and hits that I'd written for people. And I'm at the point even now, over the last 30 years, I have a lot of songs that I want to redo. And have other singers or the original singers sing them and put it on a vinyl. Because I thought, it'd be nice to just rehash some of that stuff, especially during COVID, finding work to do. You have to come up with creative ideas. And a lot of them are still willing to do the songs again. Even like I did an English song called In Love With You, back in the day. And it was a duet with, Jackie Chung and a lady named Regine Velasquez, who's like the songbird of the Philippines. And, it was amazing because when I said I want to redo the song, somehow, through various funny reasons, but anyways, it's a long story, but she got wind of it and she said, oh, I'd love to I'd love to sing that song because it basically really launched her in Asia as became quite an Asia-wide song. And, so, I've had very good response with these old songs, and that's what I do,
And do you have other favorite Canto-pop artists that you work with? Other moments that you can remember?
Yes, I really like working with Jackie Chung. He did a lot of my songs, and he would sing them the way I was envisioning it. Alan Tam was a lot of fun too. We did a lot of songs together back in the 90s. I worked a lot with a guy named Wong Zhou Lam. I think he's the TVB creative boss now. And, and he's been such a good guy to me. I've been his music director for 10, 12 years. And, so I have a lot of good working relationships, but as a songwriter, often you wouldn't even see the artists, like a lot of the artists I've written for, I haven't really ever had any conversation with. When I produce it, of course, it'd be different, like Janice Vidal, we did, a number of songs and, just various artists over the years, but not, she'd probably be one of the closest friends I have in the music business as far as singers go.
What do you make of the current canto trends? I mean, bands like Mirror, have sort of overtaken popular and notice, haven't they? What do you think of these kind of outfits?
Well, I think there was for me, there was kind of a lull for a long time. Like, as far as there was big singers like Eason Chan and I like working with him. He loves to talk for a long time, and then he'll sing a song that, sing it one time through and then talk a lot. It's a really good time with him that time, way back in the early 2000s. They kind of revived some kind of pride in the Canto-pop scene, because I think it had gone where it was like, sorry, where it would often just be redoing the same kind of thing. In my opinion, I might be wrong. But,
no, I think you're right. I think you're right.
And it sounded similar, and and I'm doing some songs now for a TV drama that are old, but they're not that old. But I'm listening to them going, oh, these songs sound like a lot of songs that I've already heard. There wasn't a lot of uniqueness. Mirror was unique in the way that it was just something that wasn't Korean, but everybody wanted something like that.
Shades of Korea, yes.
Yeah, I did a song I put on YouTube, which is kind of kind of a fun song about all their names, and I totally went to town on on that whole thing at the time, because during this COVID time, it's trying different ideas out. And so it was a lot of fun. So I studied those guys a little bit more. Realized, they've stirred up something in Canto-pop, which, has been a good positive thing. And then there's a lot of, like lately, there's been these singing shows on, both TV stations, that have huge viewerships. And then a lot of, stars come out of that. And so it's moving forward.
Let's wrap it up, John, with another song that you wrote. This is called See the Light. In just a few seconds, what's the story behind this?
Well, I have a lot of songs, like probably a catalog of 200 songs that I've written that I could never sell. And not that I couldn't sell them. It was just probably not the right place, the right time, or the right singer. So, and some of them are good songs. And I did a bunch and I put on YouTube called Unsold Demos. And this is one of them called See the Light. Probably wrote it 10, 12 years ago, released it last year. Yeah.
John, thank you very much for joining us on Morning Brew this morning and telling us a little bit about some of the songs that you've written over the years. We'll leave you with See the Light. Thanks a lot, and hope to speak to you again soon.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
To the dreams you hid inside, when the dark just fades to the black, where can you go? Let me come and pick you up when you're feeling down inside. Let me come and hold you close tonight, 'cause I really wanna pick you up, tell you it'll be alright, 'cause I know the reason why, and you'll finally see the light. See the light. What do you do when you lose hope? Tell me, are you gonna run and hide? I am here now, walking with you. I will always be by your side. No pretending that it'll be alright. We just need to keep it real. When the gray just fades to the black, where will we go? Let me come and pick you up when you're feeling down inside. Let me come and hold you close tonight, 'cause I really wanna pick you up, tell you it'll be alright. We know the reason why, 'cause we've finally seen the light. Life might try to take the easy way, but the truth is that it's just a game. Let me pick you up when you're down inside. Let me hold you close tonight. Let me come and pick you up when you're feeling down inside. Let me come and hold you close tonight.
John Lowden. And See the Light. Thanks very much to John, singer-songwriter, for joining us on Morning Brew this morning. And his viral hit is Hong Kong, This Is My Home, if you want to search it out. News is next.